A lot of our so-called blue brothers are running, hiding instead of coming back and admitting that they're wrong. Okay.
Love time for the Democratic Party. I think it needs to be stripped down and rebuilt. I think that means a change in leadership. I want to know who thought it was a good idea that Joe Biden stand for another 4 years at 80 years of age and 37% popularity. So then that saddled the party with a British-like short campaign season for them.
O'Shea killed his career. What are you talking about? Okay.
I think it's insulting when members of the working class, which the Democratic Party has lost entirely in our lifetimes, to insist the economy is doing great. A 12-pack of Bounty is $40. Rich folks don't feel that. Poor folks already switched to Sparkle during the COVID.
I don't think he could have ran for as a Democrat. Okay, I don't. I don't think he. I think he tried. He tried to run as a Democrat and it didn't work out for him. That's how come he switched over to a Republican. Okay, so he did try. Donald Trump, it wasn't the first. When he won, it wasn't the first time he tried to run for president. Okay, he couldn't. He could not have won as a Democrat
During the lockdown. And I think telling them that the NASDAQ is gangbusters is further insulting. It's insulting. I think the biggest unforced error of the Biden administration by far was the border. To tell people it's not a problem is insulting. For the working class to see incoming migrants getting welcome bags, debit cards,
yes,
hotel rooms.
Yes. Everything that he's saying, we said 6 months ago. Okay, more than 6 months ago, well before the election. Okay, everybody's telling that's not what it's about. It's about abortion. It's about this. We kept saying that everything that he's saying now, we said months ago. Because it was clear as the nose on your face. Okay, and people denied. Oh no, it's about race. It's about her being a woman. It's about women's rights. No, it was not. Even the white women said the same thing.
Is probably insulting as well. So there's a lot of work to do. You know, it was when they handed out camo hats that said Harris Walls, and the Democrats they were kind of charmed by that. Their party has gone quinoa, and the rest of America's eating at Cracker Barrel. And so it was kind of an ironic use of something millions of Americans put on their heads to start their day every day.
It's funny, man, because I was listening to some of my the bigger white YouTubers that go into geopolitics, man. And it's funny. I'm gonna have to talk to Dr. Marifa. He's running his mouth because because I have a live stream on Monday morning, people that I've never even talked to, that have a much bigger platforms and much bigger international pool than I do, are saying the exact same things that I'm saying. Globally, okay, almost to the word. In fact, there's a word called messianic that came up. I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "You motherfuckers are listening." Anyhow, well, what I'm saying is that that's why lost a lot of respect for a lot of the political guys in the space. Okay, this kind of stuff was obvious. Okay, we actually pointed out the why. The immigrants were coming in and what they were planning and why they were doing it and why they were spending the money, even though we didn't agree that they should spend the money. Okay? We said the Democrats should at least come out to the American people and explain to them why they're actually spending all their money and why they have the policies that they have. And they didn't do it. Instead, they prefer to lie about it. Okay? They're saying that Kamala Harris, the polls were always wrong. Basically the propaganda in the newspapers and on the newsrooms and the polls were in full effect. They tried to force this woman down your throat. Okay, and when it fell apart and they spent almost $2 billion to do it, now people want answers. Now everybody's pointing fingers at each other. And Brian Williams is not the first one to say that the Democratic Party needs to be taken apart. Okay. Now, I knew, as far as Bernie Sanders, this country has never, ever, ever selected a socialist for president. Not going to happen, okay? The last socialist run besides Bernie Sanders was back in the earlier 20th century, and they sent him to jail. Okay, Bernie Sanders is too old to go to jail. So Bernie Sanders backed down twice. I don't even know why he ran. You know you're a socialist, you cannot run. That's like Bernie Sanders is crashing out on the Democratic Party right now. Brian Williams is crashing out on the Democratic Party. Even Bill Clinton is crashing out on the Democratic Party right now because the shit doesn't work. And it failed so spectacularly that it's going to have to be rebranded and remolded if they think about making a run in 2024. Okay? I said 101 from the master teachers. Always ask why. Exactly. Always ask why they do stuff. There's Mookie. What's going on, Mookie? I hear you're in Armageddon week, so I hear all your students complaining right about now. AOC cannot run because AOC has betrayed her position. Okay, there's no way AOC could run as a progressive and as a left-wing liberal and vote for two wars. Okay, one in Ukraine and one in Israel. No way. She can't run because that's going to fly back on her. There's no way she's going to come back from actually supporting Kamala Harris and stuff that Kamala Harris did. Walz and AOC, that's a losing ticket for president. Given how the Democrats treat black men, it isn't hard to sway us towards the right, uplifting black women by bringing down black men, promoting the HDTV community. I heard that. It is, man. It is, and that's the whole thing. What did she say? Okay? What she said about talking to black men, Stacey Abrams could have done the exact same thing, right? All the stats are there, okay? They could pull up. They don't even have to do it themselves. We pulled up so many videos on stats about black men and where we are, right? For the last 15 years, okay? They already know, okay? They can pull out Dr. Johnson's book. They already know. She had the stats. She had the charts. She said, you're at the bottom of every statistic, okay? Aren't you tired, okay? That's all they had to say, okay? Right then and there, she had their vote. Right then and there, she had their vote. Okay, she listens, okay? She knows. She understands what we need. And she has the ear of Donald Trump to actually go out and actually have him at least listen, okay? Just like when, what's his name, during COVID, got murked, right, by that cop, right? Everybody else is out there with signs marching. Donald Trump said, okay, no problem. I'm going to stick the DOJ on every police department that actually does this kind of crap, right? Instant effect. He never got credit for it. I'm the only person that gave him credit for it. Instant effect. But nobody remembers that because it's too inconvenient. I don't care if you hate the guy. I really don't. Because most of this stuff is hatred against Donald Trump, not because of what he does, it's because what they think he is. So Dr. Thunder had a topic today explaining how AIPAC recruited Barack Obama and other Dem. Everybody gets recruited by AIPAC, okay? Both sides. Don't get it twisted, including Donald Trump. Don't get it twisted. In fact, Barack Obama, when he was in Chicago, before he got with Michelle, was banging Jewish girls, okay? Where he was. He was a Jewish girl slayer before he got with Michelle. That's what he was. He was a mixed dude that banged Jewish women because he had a degree from Harvard, and basically, and you're mixed and you're slinging baloney, Jewish women are going to love you. Don't ask me how I know, okay?